Everyone, and welcome to the Grand Final edition, the extravaganza that is Off the Record, the sports podcast of breaking news, hard opinion, and a little bit of gibber. I'm Andrew Webster from The Australian. I'm joined here for the very last time this year, this season, by my old mate, my old sparring partner, my partner in journalistic crime, my friend, my foe, my lover, my fighter, Phil Rothfield.
Aren't you gibbering early? Hey? No, it's great to be here. I love Grand Final week. Very, very special. No Sydney teams, but Storm v Broncos. It'll be a great Grand Final, Webby. It'll be a great Grand Final.
It'll be a ding-dong battle.
And you know what I'm most excited about? Having a little break from you.
Oh.
It's been a long 35 whatever weeks since we started in Vegas. We toured.
I'll just wrap you and you just say, I can't wait to see the back.
Well, I do need a break.
Good, join the fucking club. Coming up on the show today, we investigate the R360 revolution that has spooked the entire sporting universe. We pay tribute to Roosters captain James Tedesco on his Dally M triumph. We deep dive into the NRL Grand Final, and in our War Story segment, Buzz and I are going to relive our greatest moments covering the Grand Final of the greatest game of all. Now, before we get into it, Buzz, we want to just send a shout out to Phil Gould, who is in hospital with heart trouble. I know we poke a lot of fun of him on this podcast, but the game is infinitely better when and more interesting to cover when Gus is in it. So we hope you get better soon, Gus.
Yeah, I'll second that. I did a piece, called High Stakes in the Sunday Telegraph last week, and they said, "What would your ultimate interview be?" And it'd be Phil Gould, one more time, but it's never going to happen. But no one wishes ill health on anyone, and I hope he can. The doctors, I'm sure, he'll be in good care, and we wish him well.
If I know the man at all, he'll be feverishly still working from his hospital bed. So get better soon, Gussie. Just a shout out to our good friends at Code Sports who have supported us all season long. You can get an annual subscription to Australia's best sports website for just 49. Sorry, I got looking through the wrong glasses here. 49. It features Australia's best sports journalism. The app's a ripper. I can tell you that. I look at it all day long. See all Buzz's yarns on there at the top of the homepage. Codesports.com.au/OTR to get the special discount on your annual Code Sports subscription. Champs and Chumps for the last time. Buzzy, take it away.
Well,
Yippee, Buzz.
Yeah. Got you up today.
I've had four.
Hey, this is your best intro ever.
I've had 4 cups of coffee.
It's
flying.
taking you 30.
I'm flying.
How have you had 4 cups of coffee? Listen,
because I've been up since 4, tapping out a piece for the Australian on Saturday. Oh, it's going to rock! It's going to rock this grand final.
They
to the
tell
core
me.
of its
They tell me it
foundations.
might rock the Broncos anyway. By the time you've torn them a new one, but anyway,
no, it's very complimentary of the Broncos, but there's a couple of little jabs.
Yeah, right.
Who's your champ?
You know, I'm not an AFL man, but there was a story.
No.
There was a story after the grand final, and the Brisbane Lions beat the Geelong Cats, and I love their coach Chris Fagan.
He's just a little cuddly little coach.
Yeah, isn't he? He doesn't look like a coach.
When they won it, he's up on the stage. If I was covering that game, you know what I would have led on? He's up there on the stage, like when they're doing the team photo. He's got the cup, and you couldn't see his head because he's too small.
He looks to me more like an Uber driver. One of those. He doesn't look like an AFL coach. But what he's done
looks like an Uber.
Well, he does. He doesn't look. He just looks
very
like one of us.
He's very unassuming, sort of,
and
man.
really, really humble. Yeah. And what I love about him, like the players, coaches get a medal for winning a grand final.
Mm-hmm.
For the second year in a row, he gave his away to an injured player who couldn't be on the MCG last Saturday afternoon.
I love when coaches do that after
just self.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
I don't even know who the player was because I don't follow it close. But it's just a lovely, lovely act, and it explains why for 2 years those boys from Brisbane have been playing for him. He's obviously a seriously, seriously decent guy.
And he can coach.
Well, obviously, yeah.
64.
Is he
and he's
from
64.
Adelaide? Is he? Was he?
I think so.
Oh,
I don't know. I'm not that.
yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
you're not going to like my champ.
Why?
Mine's also related to the AFL Grand Final.
Yeah, this is really good. A grand final,
Hang on.
special edition, and we're both
Right.
talking AFL.
Well, this is the end of it. Snoop Dogg
Oh.
absolutely slayed it. Absolutely slayed
Are
it.
you serious?
Yes.
You're not. Did you see the poll in the Herald Sun?
I don't give a fuck about the Herald Sun poll.
Don't you go
It
back?
just
You
shows
get
you-
one F
and it
word a podcast.
You said 4 last week,
Right.
but you were very cranky because you're a cranky old man.
Hmm.
Snoop Dogg slayed it. All his old bangers. Don't worry about all these stupid, old boomers going, oh, he said the word drugs and he said weed and he said hose, please. He's been halftime entertainment at the Super Bowl. He was front and center at the Paris Olympics last year. He is the dog father. I loved him. He was fantastic. And all you boomers who say otherwise don't know what you're talking about.
As I've said, I do not care one little bit about grand final entertainment in either codes, and you know what you can do with Teddy Swims too. I do not care. Apparently, he's had a crooked throat, and he abandoned or cancelled a couple of concerts.
Who, Teddy Swims?
Yeah, in
Teddy's
Hawaii.
not. He doesn't
He's
swim.
had
Teddy's crook.
yeah, well, he's had to pass a fitness test to sing at the stadium on Sunday. But mate, as I keep telling you, all I want to watch is 100-metre sprint.
Oh,
I want to find the fastest man in
I
league.
don't care about the entertainment.
Do you really think
don't
people
care.
buy tickets to go and
No,
watch?
I don't. I don't care about the halftime entertainment or the pre-match entertainment.
Well, you just
But
why
I
have you
just
made
said-
it your champ?
Because I just said he was good. I said he was good. Whether he was there or not, I couldn't care less. But I can acknowledge that he was good. I'm a Snoop
Can I
fan.
just say I didn't even watch him? I like that bloke, Mike, what's his name?
Brady.
Mike Brady, and they up their gazelles.
Well, he sung that.
Yeah, I know.
He did it. He was good.
Well, that'll do me for entertainment.
Good. No worries. Is that all right? Who's your chump? Make yourself your
The
chump.
chump is the end of the rugby league season.
Oh, no.
It is my life. I love it. No more Thursday nights
Oh,
at
no.
7:50. No more
Double
6 o'clock.
headers.
You know what I do Fridays? 6 o'clock
What are you going to do?
game.
What are you going to
And
do
then
now?
you know what I do at full time? I get jungle chicken curry delivered before the game 2. Super Saturday, Sundays. I miss it, mate. I'm getting all emotional, Andrew. I love rugby league. And
I hadn't noticed.
and
I hadn't noticed, by the way, you shake your pom poms for the game.
Listen,
Give a
We're-
shout,
we're-
give a yell, shake your tits for the NRL. Do you like that?
listen,
that's a bit of a grease reference
listen.
for
We've
all
got
the boomers out
a
there.
we got a sensational cricket season coming up with India coming out here for white ball, and then the Ashes cricket.
Be a ripper.
But mate, I missed the game, and look, by March next year, I'll be ready to go again.
Journos are hilarious. We sit there and bitch and moan. So I can't wait for the season to end, particularly after
Yeah,
Origin
no.
3. That's where it gets like, what are we going to write for the next, 6 weeks until the
Yeah,
finals start? And then when we get towards the end, it's like, oh,
What are we
going to do with our godforsaken lives?
Well, I've got to start being sociable with my missus again and things like that. And, you know, hey, well, you do. You sort of you meet your family again. You know.
Right. Well, you could be like me, just don't like people, and I prefer to not speak to anybody.
Yeah. There you go.
Do you know who my chump is?
No, I'd love to know that.
The people who, after that game on Sunday, on Sunday,
We'll get you a cough button for
Lo-
next year.
launched into Nathan Cleary and questioned his ability to perform in big games.
I didn't see a lot.
I saw a lot of it online. People are fucking idiots, basically. I'm just going to let the F word go all
why
show.
not? If we get taken off
People-
here, it doesn't matter.
I know, exactly. It's not like we can lose a sponsor. We don't
No.
have one.
Yeah.
Honestly, the bash up of Nathan Cleary, the bloke has won the last 4 comps, Clive Churchill medalist in 2 of them. I hate this whole line that he's never done anything in rep football. He's won Man of the Match awards in 2 Origins. He was player of the series in the 2020 losing series for New South Wales. He had a blinder in the World Cup final in 2023, was it? Seriously. Mate, he's done more than most people in this game will ever do. And any tiny little loss or any time they don't win, like he didn't come up with some plays when they needed it at the end of that game against the Broncos. But come on, stop bagging.
Mate, you know why Penrith got beat? It wasn't because of Cleary. Cleary played fine. They got beat on fatigue, mate, and they got beat by the salary cap. They've lost champion after champion after champion for many, many years. And fatigue.
They've been playing sudden death footy for months.
Yeah.
You know?
From outside to come from 12.
Exactly.
He is an outright champion, and I'm on record as saying I regard him as highly as Thurston and Johns in that he won four straight grand finals and played in 5. He's a superstar of the highest order.
So stop bagging him, haters.
Very, very good chump.
You'll have to put up... It's a good chump, wasn't it?
I'm with you.
You're with me or against me? You're with me.
I don't often agree with your chumps, but you've got a good one.
Thanks, Buzz. Now, listen, we're going to flip the script here. We're going to just very laissez-faire this podcast today. We're just going to... We're unplugged. It's Buzz and Webby, fucking unfiltered. We're going to do our war stories first.
Yep.
Because it's grand final day, week, whatever it is, and it's exciting. And it brings back memories of all the grand finals we've done. Do you want to talk about yours first, Buzz?
I don't care.
You go.
You sure?
Yeah. You're the captain. It's your podcast, as you like to always tell me. So you tell me. Enlighten us with your tales of grand finals.
My favourite grand final story was probably 2016, the Sharks winning. But my favourite actually story I've written, and it was nearly the favourite of my entire career, was 2014, and I took George Piggins to the grand final.
That's right.
And I want to tell you how this happened. When South sold to Holmes of Court and Crow, George was basically forced out, and there was a 10-year boycott of South games, and he wanted nothing to do with them. He felt like he'd been sold out. Here's a guy who'd mortgaged his house to save them and driven the court case to get reinstated into the competition. And
no George Piggins, no South.
Absolutely. So anyway, the week before the game, I go round to his house, beautiful house at South Coogee, sit down and have a cup of tea with him and Nolene. And I say to him, just talking about his best South moments, and I said, George, would you come to the grand final on the weekend? Why don't you come? You know, it's time to move on. They're back. They wouldn't be back with you. You got to be at the stadium to watch them. He said, no, I wouldn't go. I'm not going. I said, George, you should be there. You saved the club. It's going to be their greatest mate. He said, I wouldn't go for $100,000, he said. I said, you would. I said, if it was $100K for charity, would you go? And he said, oh, well, that makes it difficult. You put me on it. Of course I'd have to. I would go. So I left his house, Webby. No, I don't want to make this all but I rang John Singleton, right?
Oh, look at you dropping the name.
No, well, I rang...
I know, it's a beautiful story.
I rang Singer and I said, mate, you wouldn't have a spare $50K. I'm trying to get George to the grand final. And he said, yeah, I'll chuck him. And he said, hey, caused an arsehole of a joint. He deserves to be, they should have put a bomb under a court years ago. So I'll throw in 50 just to make him there. So, and he said,
like Singo.
And he said, I'll give my $50K to the Men of League on the Central Coast branch. So I thought I'd need another 50. And I had some mates in Sportsbet at the tab, and they have promotional money, and rang Glenn Munsey and those sort of people. And I said, look, any chance I can get 50? I said, I've given you hundreds of thousands of my own hard-earned over the years. Would you be prepared to? They said, yeah, we would. So we got the 100, and they get donated to Harvest for, I think they're a mob that feed the homeless. So we got $100,000 And I rang George and I said, guess what? We're off to the GF. We're off to the GF, George. So it was the first time he'd been there in more than 10 years. And the NRL came to the party and George was getting on and put a high car on for him, and I organised half a dozen tickets and he went out with Normie Lipsome and, all his closest, and he watched the grand final and I sat next to him.
And they won.
They won, and I sat next to him, and it was a really, really and he had to be there, Webby.
Of course.
He had to be there. You're 100% right what you said. No George Piggins, no South Sydney.
In saying that, also, no Russell, probably the same result. You know what I mean? They needed Russell.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
But it was very bitter, and very acrimonious the way it all happened in 2006, yeah.
But to sit there with the great man and then tell the story the next morning of, Funny thing was, the guy they call the art dealer, a guy called Steve Nastesky?
Yes.
Well, he rang me on the Monday and said, I'm going to throw in another 20 grand as well for Children's Hospital at Randwick.
Oh, very good.
So George going to the game, we got 120 grand for some great charities. And yeah, like I'll never forget Gal and E.T. embracing and in tears in 2016, but that was the most special one I've covered.
There you go.
Yeah. Can you hit me up with yours, please?
I don't have anything that
you do,
nice.
You do, and I know what it'll be about. Those lunatic brothers. Go on.
So when I was a young, full-haired cadet at the,
you had long hair once, didn't you?
I had sort of long
curly hair. I can remember.
My hair was
you.
my thing, Buzz.
Yeah,
it was quite magnificent.
Yeah.
Just looking at Sam Morgan, our producer over there. It's
he's number 2.
Yeah, I had hair like that too, brother. And don't worry, within about 6 months, I was bald as a badger.
Receding a little bit, Sammy's hairline.
It is. It's very peaky.
Yeah.
I remember distinctly saying at one point, I will never go bald like my father. And within 6 months, it was all out. Anyway, enough about my hair and more about grand finals. So I was a young cadet in Maitland. And I covered the 97 grand final and celebrations when they were famously up.
Did you come down for the game too?
I didn't. No.
Oh, really?
No. I did the celebrations though,
right.
And well, that
for the Mercury.
That was rural press.
Yeah, right.
They wouldn't cover a cup of coffee, let alone a tank of petrol.
Wouldn't give you a train ticket.
No, and my take home pay was about $350 a week back then.
Yeah, right. You're on that an hour these days.
I don't get out of bed for $500 an hour. And I covered those celebrations on top of the civic centre, on top of the council chambers there, overlooking the civic park, and Screaming Jets were setting up to perform, and because we were Maitland was Lower Hunter, so the Johns boys were we had a real focus on the Johns family because they went to school in Maitland. That's where they learned to play football. They grew up in Cessnock. I'd interviewed him many times, and I went up to I'll never forget going up to Andrew Johns.
What time of day was this?
This was about 10 o'clock on the Tuesday morning.
Right.
And I said,
he obviously hadn't been home.
No, and he's doing those devil horns things with his eyes closed. And I said, Joey. Yeah. I said,
Andrew Webster from the Mercury.
Andrew Webster from the Maitland Mercury. Mate, can I? He goes, brother, just make the quotes up.
Oh, did he?
Yes. And I've been making up Andrew John's quotes ever since.
And
straight after, I went and got a photo. There's a photo of me with the Optus Cup.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And then I went outside and interviewed Matty. And Matty could string a few words together, but not many.
He did the famous better than Lego.
That's right.
Cross with Sunrise.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
He wasn't in too good a shape.
He wasn't. But my fondest memory was the Dragons victory, 2010.
Really?
Mm.
Yeah, right.
Well, I'm a Dragons fan.
Yeah, I know that.
But I was bitterly hungover that day.
Yeah, right.
I might have peaked too early at the Epsom handicap.
Yeah, right.
At Randwick, and I remember I was sitting next to Kenty. Remember that game was a bit of a roller coaster early on for Dragons fans, and it got to the end there, and it's a running copy, as you know. You got to file right on full time. And I was filing for the front page of the Telegraph, and I was going to Kenty, what the fuck what am I going to
Yeah.
write here? I don't know what to do.
Yeah,
And Kenty
right.
goes, look at that sign. And there was like a Dragons fan holding a sign saying, choke on that. I
Oh,
went,
really?
that'll do. Choke on that. And that was the front page
Isn't
of the
that
telly.
funny?
But I remember I walked out after I filed and I walked out into the front of the press box and they were doing a lap of honour. And I called my dad, who,
Mm.
and we're like lifelong Dragon
yeah.
supporters. And he was at the pub in Urunga and we were having a little bit of a cry on the
Yeah,
phone as
wow.
I was describing what happened. So that's how I remember
Yeah.
that grand final day.
Isn't it funny, great moments, remember who you were sitting next to?
Yeah.
In 78, the replay on the Tuesday was the first one I really covered. And I can clearly remember Ian Hansen, the Daily Mirror, sitting next to me.
Yep.
And you know the Darren Albert try and the Joey story you just told? You know who I was sitting next to? Matt White.
Oh, Matty White. He would have been very young then.
Well, he was a Northern Beaches man, a mad Manly supporter. And this before his career really took off. Remember he hosted that...
Sports Tonight.
Not only Sports Tonight, he did that show on Channel 7 at 6:30.
Oh, yeah, he was Today Tonight.
Yeah, Today
Sports
Tonight.
Today Tonight.
Yeah, I sat next to Matty, and I can still see Albert
I
and
feel like
Joey.
Chicken
And
Tonight. Sorry.
yeah, I always remember who I was sitting next to. For the last podcast of the year, I'm sitting next to Andrew Webster.
Why are you so nasty towards
Webster.
me? What is
Did
it?
I hire you?
At the Telegraph?
Yeah.
Are you kidding? Of course you did.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That was a big.
Do-
that was
do-
a big
do I-
signing. Remember how big that signing was for you?
Yeah. Do I ever get any credit for you?
I
career?
rap you all the time.
Oh,
I've
do you?
rapped you on this podcast for your influence on my career.
Oh, really?
Such as your amnesia, you don't even remember that.
Mate, I do have an amnesia. Mate, I struggle with
you
my
can't even
memory.
say it.
No. No. Mate, it's probably that I hammered myself as a young bloke, you know.
How much you used to hammer yourself when you were younger, a young journo?
I used to love a beer, Webby. Used to love a beer. I've told the story with drugs. I never touched drugs after that bong went horribly wrong all those years. The one bong I ever had, I've told this story, it spun me out for 3 weeks. And I was crook, you
No
know.
short balls back in the day? No?
What do you call them? 5 balls? Or
No, 8 balls.
8 balls.
5 balls. Oh, my God.
But, mate, I used to love a beer. And when I'd had too many beers,
I had never noticed, Buzz.
I used to drink Scotch and Dry. Scotch and Dry ginger ale.
Ooh. Don't you remember when you and Ben English, who's now the Telegraph editor, took me to the pub to sign me to the Telegraph?
Yeah, I do now.
Yeah, and I remember we were like, we're just going to have a couple of drinks.
Yeah,
And we weren't going to talk money.
yeah.
And we're just like, just to sort of get to know each other. By the end of the night, we had our arms around each other, and you
Yeah.
were like, how much is it going to take?
How was that?
Yes. And then,
I think I got you cheap.
really?
Keep
Don't
going.
say that to me.
Keep going.
I noticed you said to Braith the other night, keep going.
Did I?
You did.
Move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're getting
I'll tell you, can I give Braith here a rap?
Sure.
Gosh, he hosted well last night.
He did. Let's get into
On
that
TV.
then. He was very good. So did
Mate,
they
I'm
all
telling you, he is a quality host.
did. He's a talent, old
He's a
Racing.
sharp-looking dude, too. I love what Ricky said to him.
What did Ricky say?
He said, you know, you last won this award in 2002 or anything. He said, what's the difference, the game now? And he said, oh, we don't have pretty boys like you anymore.
Oh, that's
Yeah, it was funny.
that would have hurt. What do you think of Teddy getting the Dally M? It was funny when he got interviewed on the red carpet. He goes, "Everyone says I'm gonna win it, but we'll see what happens." Like, I mean, they didn't have to do the count. We all knew he was gonna win it.
Yeah, $1.04 he was paying. He should have been paying. You can't bet on the award, but really, really popular award. He clearly the best player. And what I think Teddy has grown the last couple of years, like I've seen few footballers grow, and it is around his leadership at the Roosters with the changing the guard and all those youngsters coming through. So apart from being a great fullback still, who would have gone on the tour if he hadn't, he's a great leader. He's really, really grown. I reckon he used to be an awkward sort of leader. He didn't take a full grasp of it when it was given to him.
I always found him to be a bit of an awkward guy.
Yeah, no, well,
I haven't spoken to him
I'm
for
not
years.
close to him.
No,
I'm not.
neither am I.
But he was a thoroughly deserved winner last night. The other thing I was really impressed, not just with him, but every rugby league speaker last night, the girls, the men, mate, geez, their speeches were good.
They all spoke really well.
And, mate, you know, I used to go to Rothman's medals and they used to be pissed before they got on stage and was flat out stringing words together. They were, mate, in the old days.
Chain smoking some
Winnies,
Winnie Reds,
Winnie Blues.
some B&H extra miles. They were my poisonous. They were my
Yeah,
cigarette.
I was B&H. I was full strength.
Hard or soft pack?
Hard.
I like the soft
Yeah,
pack. Tear the little hole in it. Anyway,
Yeah, can we stop promoting
cigarette smoking
illegal, or not? They're not illegal, but shit
behaviour.
things for your health.
Yeah, because that's the worst thing I've put in my
Yeah,
body.
but great story, Teddy. Great story.
Where do you put him, Buzz? Where do you think
Well,
he
you know
sits
what I
in the
said. You know what I
pantheon
said to
of
Nick.
fullbacks?
You know what I said to Nick Politis. He's won that many Jack Gibson medals. Their great signings over the years have been probably Beats from outside of East. Have been Beatson and Fittler, right? I said, Nick, he's now up there, and you're going to have to build a statue of him.
Oh, you told Nick he's got to build a statue?
Well, I said, you know, that I think they, you know, where their entry office is in Moore Park Road.
Yeah.
I reckon they should put a few statues there of their outright legends, and I think the players I just mentioned would be, mate. Teddy is just off the charts.
Robbo said something a few weeks ago, and he called him the best ruck fullback the game's seen. And it's hard to argue, like just the way that he gets out a dummy half like he does when teams are on the back foot.
Oh yeah,
it is like how many meters he just gobbles up every game. It's hard to deny. Yeah, he doesn't have. He's just one of those hard running fullbacks, isn't he? You know, he probably doesn't have the big gliding sort of. I don't know. It's hard to describe.
Well, he's not Reece Walsh.
He's not Reece Walsh. That's right.
And he's not Ko Weeks.
No.
And he's not Ryan Pappenhausen.
No. But I mean, even sort of going back through the years, you know, like he's not a. He's but he's like such a chunky sort of. Pinball,
Mate, he's got big glutes and he's a powerful
They joke
bastard.
about the size of his ass.
Yeah, and mate, he's a sensational player. Can I tell you why I reckon he's had such a great 2 years? Because he's played bugger all Origin.
Ooh,
and everything he's done has been head down, bum up for the Roosters.
It is. It has.
And the other thing I love about him, Webby, sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good.
They say he pulled out of the kangaroo tour for his brother's wedding, his best man, which was a big part of it. His dad rang me the other day, John Tedesco, who I have I get on with his dad a lot better than I do with James. He said it was more about this stem cell treatment he's getting on his knee.
Right.
And that Teddy is now at a stage of his career where the Roosters are his major employer. They give him $1 million a year, and he felt obliged to get that treatment done rather than go to England.
Wow.
Which explains a lot about his leadership.
That is very good intel there, Buzz.
Yeah, from John Tedesco, his dad.
You're not, Buzzy, still just breaking news.
Oh, no, well, that's what he said, Webby.
Teddy breaks ankles, Buzz breaks news. That's how it works. You know that?
It's not bad.
Not bad for
final podcast.
Good stuff. Okay.
Do you reckon we'll be back next year?
I hope so.
We'll be back by popular demand.
We will. The fans
I'm not
will
coming
demand
back for nothing, though.
It's a very, we're on air at the moment. These are.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't
You're just
care.
putting it out there to the universe.
Yes.
Okay, put this out to the universe.
I might our listeners could start a petition.
I think they should have a GoFundMe page to get us back on air.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sure.
A go fuck yourself page. How am I
Sam,
going?
can you cut the F-bombs out? I'm over it.
No. Sam, keep them in. Do you think it's too much, Sam? No, I don't think it is too, but
Sam's I want to give, while we're here, but I know you were going to rap at the end, but I want to give Sam a rap.
but
Sam has massive issues. Whenever he gets pissed, he wants to FaceTime you.
Oh, really?
I've had a couple of calls from him and his gibbering mates at the Coogee Bay Hotel or Chloe,
Oh,
Eastern Suburbs boy.
I've seen Sammy at the Chloe Hotel.
Yeah.
Remember that day? Yeah. That's the last thing we're going to say about that afternoon.
Yeah.
I was there with John's
Joseph
types,
Johns and Matthew Johns.
Johns and Brian Fletcher.
Yeah, the great Fletch.
And other assorted.
What could possibly go wrong?
Everything went wrong. Let's talk briefly about R360. I've got to say, I was sceptical about any of this getting off the ground. I thought it was all just pie in the sky. Well, not pie in the sky. I was sceptical that they were going to get the money that they were talking about. And it's still going to happen. But reports yesterday, Buzz, that it's going to start on October 2 next year. And up to 10 NRL players have been earmarked to go there. What are your thoughts on this?
Oh, I guess it's a threat, but, you know, how big a threat? We're talking to rugby league, right? Look, blokes like Angus Crichton might go, but Angus Crichton's off at the Roosters next year. The club weren't they overly keen on re-signing. He was talking about going to Union anyway.
Why didn't they want to re-sign him?
Why? Because he's at the back end of his career and they got those academy kids coming through, mate, you know, and they just can't manage their cap and, you know, have him as part of it on the wage he's on. So, look, that might lose players like him. It's bullshit, the rumour going round about Payne Haas, I'm told. He's not in a position to be going overseas. You know his circumstances and the kids he's raising with his mum and dad in jail. And
well, this is the problem. You don't know. It's hard to work out how much of it's true and how much of it's just player managers trying to leverage it to bump up their
and the player managers
price.
Want their names in the paper, so potential, you know, footballers looking at opportunities will contact them and try and get an earn and all that sort of stuff. One bloke I'm a bit dirty on, Zach Lomax.
Why?
Like Zach Lomax, right? He's ready to sign with R360. Why? Well, you love St George Illawarra. Now, Shane Flanagan
It's
moved
a
him.
love-hate
Shane
relationship.
Flanagan moved him to the wing last year. He got the shits, asked for release, broke his contract and went to Parramatta. Signed with Parramatta for 4 years until the end of 2028. Well, you know what? He wants to break a contract again, allegedly.
Yeah.
Well,
so what?
Is he a professional contract buster?
Clubs break contracts all the time, Buzz. They push players out all the time.
Oh, so you support it?
No, nothing sort of surprises me anymore. It's a very selfish world and a selfish game. It's professional sport.
What do you think?
Look, to me, the thing that I don't like about it is that this is the way sport's going. And we've seen it with, and look, and this isn't Saudi backed at all, the R360, but obviously Liv is and others. And my whole issue isn't this sort of direction that sport's going. It's not about winning things. It's not about,
no.
It's about content, you know, and it's those with the deepest pockets just throwing money at athletes to set up sort of, you know, Mickey Mouse competitions. Like they're talking about, you know, games in, like, do you honestly give two shits about a rugby union game in Barcelona? Like, I couldn't really care less. No. And I tell you what, if it doesn't if they don't improve
like exhibition game.
Well, that's right. It doesn't mean anything, and sports is supposed to mean something. You know what I mean?
It's like Live Golf and the US Masters.
That's right. It's like comparing the two. And I suppose it'll attract a player. I'm assuming it'll attract a player that has one grand finals and one origins and one test matches for Australia. That's why I find it weird with Ponga linked to it so much. Like, Ponga to me seems like a superstar player, but he's never won anything. You know, I know he's won Origins series with Queensland, but surely when you there would be a hole left in you if you'd finish your career as a superstar player without a premiership.
Yeah, it depends what you value coin, and there are going to be
that's right.
There are going to be very good tax rates for these people, and
it's supposed to be tax free.
Yeah,
I don't know how they do that.
Well, it's you know, someone told me they have to spend 2 months overseas to get this tax free arrangement.
Right.
Yeah, but look, it's still a watch this space story, you know. I heard the other day they'll bring a game to Sydney. Someone else told me they won't, but who cares? Who cares? Like, Sport is all about, is tradition, and it's like getting the best 24 horses in a race at Ascot, but it's not a famous race.
That's right. That's right.
It's not a Melbourne Cup. It's not a Queen's whatever. So, mate, money is obviously important. But anyway, enough of that gibber.
All right,
There is a game on Sunday.
Let's get to the game of the weekend.
Breaking news. We are now going to preview the grand final, which you told everyone about at the start of the show, and it's taken you how long to get to? How long have we been going? That's my last jab.
There's a grand final on Sunday night.
Yep.
Broncos, who are they playing? Melbourne.
Yes.
The story of the grand final surely is Ben Hunt.
You reckon?
Surely. Oh, you don't think?
Good story.
It's the story.
I reckon Adam Reynolds is.
Why? He's won one.
The player kicked out of South Sydney.
Yeah.
Kicked out of South Sydney.
Kick to the curb.
By Mark Ellison, who was recruitment then, and I don't know who else was involved in it, but he's ever doing their recruitment. They stuffed up a second time with Lewis Dodd and have just released him at enormous cost to go and play in Catalans. But if Adam Reynolds wins this grand final, it'll be a massive embarrassment for the Rabbitohs. I know you're tight with Blake Solly. I like Blake Solly a lot too. But they should never have let this guy go.
Buzz, I wrote it and said and battled with Blake all the way through it. I said exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
They should never have got rid of Adam Reynolds.
Yeah, and look, Renault's an age now where it's starting to happen what South said it would. He's getting a lot of injuries. But he's given Broncos great value over, 4 years, and...
I'm not tight with Blake Solly. I talk to him.
No, well, you're mates with him. We all are,
I don't have many mates in this game.
And Blake's an outstanding CEO, but someone needs to be...
This was a mistake, and so was Lewis Dodd.
Yeah.
It was.
So
I am glad that they finally paid him out, though, just for the sake that we can stop talking about Lewis Dodd.
Yeah, and with Renault, that goal, he was so calm the other day.
I know, but it was shades of 21. The 21 grand final when he missed it from the sideline.
But it was there was no pressure, Webby.
Sorry?
He kicked it so clean, it was like he was at training.
Have we worked out whether he asked for the ball or Madge said he should kick it or Reece Walsh said you kick it?
He said, I saw him interviewed in 360 the other night, he said Reece put his hand up and said, mate, I'm not hitting him well if you want it. And Renault took it.
And the old dog lined it up and kicked it over.
Never, ever looked like Missy.
No, it didn't.
Black dot job.
God, it was a good game.
Now, why do you love Hunt? What the story around Hunt?
Because he cost them a grand final
in
2015.
Yes.
And just how much that rocked him. For
Imagine
years.
They kick off to him in the last few minutes.
Oh, I like that.
Hey?
The last play.
Same spot.
Drops it.
Yeah.
Score's locked.
Yeah.
Or he could catch it.
He'd never get over
Or
that.
he could catch it.
Yeah.
And take the tackle, and then the Broncos win. How do you see the game going, Buzz? Sorry, Sammy, how much have we got longer to go here, Sam? We're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
Keep it going, Buzz.
I
gotta go though soon.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah, well, let's do another few minutes. I love the Storm spine. Harry Grant, I think, is in everything but longevity is as good a player as Cameron Smith. He's just got to do it for another 15 years. But super player. I love Hughes. I love Munster. I love Pappenhausen. It's a great spine. Bellamy's a freak. I think Stefano Utoikamanu looked like Payne Huss last week in their win over, their win over the Sharks. He outmuscled Adam Fennell-Blake.
He did. He silenced.
Yeah. So, did you want my tips now?
Yeah, let's go. Let's do our fearless forecast. Winner, first try scorer, Clive Churchill.
Well, I got Melbourne winning by 8. I've got first try scorer, and I know last year you took an edge forward, Liam Martin, at $34.
Which I won and saluted. Thank you, Liam Martin.
Yes, that would have helped. That would have helped you a little off-season vacation. That one. I'm going an edge forward, Qatar at Melbourne Storm.
Oh, I don't mind that.
Don't know what price he is, but
One of
yeah,
my favourite players.
I'm going Harry Grant Churchill medal.
First try scorer?
Oh, first try scorer. Katoa, the edge forward.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, look, here's my take on it. So I know it all comes back to sports betting, and of course we're looking for any sort of sponsors out there, and a betting agency would always be handy. Gamble responsibly.
Yep.
I backed the Melbourne Storm to win this competition the day after last year's grand final. Got $4.
Why have you laid off?
No, because
Why don't you lay off?
listen, because I also backed the Broncos halfway through the year at $13.
Oh, do you? So you're
when they're in the middle of their slump.
So you're one out, one back.
I also backed the Broncos last weekend, and I also backed the Broncos at halftime at $6.50. I am in love with the Broncos and have been since for the last few years.
I thought you were going to bag them and you caught them.
I'm not bagging them at all. I'm just bagging. I'm not bagging anybody. I don't bag
What are you
people.
writing about?
I don't bag people like you. I'm not a nasty.
Well, what are you writing
like
about in the weekend?
Buy the Weekend Australian.
Can't wait.
Oh, good.
Be slid under hotel doors at 5-star establishments. Or thrown over fences at Mossman and Vaucluse.
Will you shut up?
That's your demographic.
Oh, please.
Yes, it is.
I write for everybody.
Yes.
You know what? I love how you try and position me as like some
You're
elitist
very upmarket.
Mate, I'm the son of a bricky and hairdresser from Morgo Street,
Urunga. Your newspaper is read by the upper echelon of Australian society. Well, I'm sorry.
I just write for the fans, the
people
punters.
With cash.
Last F-bomb. Can you fuck off? Now, the reason why I like Brisbane is just they've got so much talent, and I think Grant Atkins is going to let them run. They're going to let the Broncos gallop. They're going to run. They're going to run, and they're going to win by 2 points.
Are they?
Yeah, I say it with absolutely no certainty at all, because I think it's one of the closest grand finals in years. I really do. I got Broncos by 2. I got Katoa, same as you.
Same.
First try score at $12.
$12. Right?
Yeah, and Hunt, $19, Clive Churchill medal. I just think it's going to be a great game, a contrast of styles, but it'll be one for the ages.
Yeah, right.
So now that I've tipped the Broncos and I've got so much money on them, they'll probably get lapped by 20. But that, as they say, is rugby league.
Yeah.
Buzz.
What they used to say, you could stop the Southern Aurora.
I could stop Farlap and have done so. Well, that's it for Off the Record for the year,
I don't want to get emotional here, Andrew, but it's been a lot of fun.
It has been a lot of fun.
A lot of fun, yeah.
It's been different.
Yeah, no, it has. And you know what? I love getting the feedback. It's really funny. Whenever you're out and about, people say, I saw you on 360, or that was a good column you wrote. Mate, they're all about this podcast
I'm the same. Everyone, when I interviewed Gout earlier this year, and I was at the Sunnybank Hotel in Queensland, this old bloke was in the tab area and he goes, love the podcast, Webby, with you and Buzz.
Yeah,
so people are watching and listening.
I am glad because it's, you say a little bit of gibber at the start. There's been a lot of gibber, a lot more than a little bit, and I love gibber, and I don't like taking sport too seriously.
No.
Where we have to sometimes, but I love taking the piss out of people and being sarcastic. And
I hadn't noticed.
So thank you, Webber.
Thank you, Buzzy. Love you, mate. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks to Sammy Morgan. Thanks to Jonah. Thanks to Mark Burris.
Nick Fordham.
Max Muddle.
Yeah,
and most of all, thank you to the listeners and the viewers out there for supporting us. We've really appreciated it.
See you guys.
See you guys.